Lori Vallow Daybell is back inside the courtroom for day 4 of testimony in her latest murder conspiracy case. She's already been convicted in Idaho and in Arizona of the deaths of her children and her former husband.
Erica Stapleton in the courtroom where we heard a lot of new evidence today. What happened, Erica?
Well, Troy Caribe, we heard within the past hour from an Idaho investigator who really ties a lot of this case together. Interesting, here in Arizona. I'll get back to him in just a minute, but for now I want to catch you up on where we are at. So Lori Vallow Daybell, in this case, accused of conspiring with her brother to kill her niece's ex-husband, a guy named Brandon Boudreau. Investigators believe Cox tried to shoot Boudreau outside his home in Gilbert in October 2019. She's pleaded not guilty, and she is representing herself. Vallow Daybell continued her cross-examination of a Gilbert detective this morning. She grilled him on why they decided to keep, or what they decided to keep as evidence, a line of questioning the prosecutor would later try to rebut.
Having been a case agent hundreds of times, you must have known that if you were ever going to charge someone with this crime, then surely you would need this evidence so the defense could hire their own experts to do testing of the car and the window, right?
We did not take the vehicle in this case. We did not have a decedent. In other words, we did not have a person who was injured or killed. We had property damage, and we were still very early in our investigation to determine what happened.
Did Brandon Boudreau get out of his car and go over and mark the exact end of the Jeep so that you would know exactly where that was when he was shot?
No, he did not.
Did he go over and tell the person, whoa, I gotta wait and find out exactly how this rifle barrel is sticking out of the back of your Jeep so that later on they'll be able to document the height, the angle, if it's up, if it's down, if it's a little to the right or left, so that later on they'll be able to do some trajectory?
No.
My name is Vanessa Milky. I'm a forensic scientist 3.
The rest of the day also jam-packed with witnesses and several pieces of evidence, including a forensic scientist who testified to finding Alex Cox's DNA in the Jeep believed to be used in the crime, and another forensic scientist who testified to finding gunshot residue in that Jeep. And we again heard from that Idaho investigator who ties this together, pointing out surveillance footage and other details about that Jeep used in the crime. Now, Alex Cox, Lori's brother, cannot be charged in this case because he died in 2019 before charges were filed. And guys, I mentioned that Idaho investigator, he's the second to last witness we found out from the state. They're planning to call one more tomorrow morning, and then they plan to rest their case. The judge advised Lori Vallow Daybell, who again is representing herself, if she's planning to call anyone, she should be prepared to do so tomorrow afternoon. If she does not, like we saw her not do in her last trial here in Arizona, then they could be expected to go into their closing statements as early as tomorrow. So this case really moving along here. But for now, we are live outside the courthouse in Phoenix. I'm Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
Could be wrapped up in the next couple of days. We'll see what happens here, Erica. Thank you.